Hare Krishna. So I'll wait for the people to join. I'm online now. I'm just waiting for others to join. Looks like somebody joined. Hare Krishna. Please write some comments if somebody has joined already, because I can't see who has joined. Can somebody see the comment window, comment box? Can put your comments on so that I can know who has joined. Hare Krishna, Swatiji, how are you? Thanks for joining. So Swatiji, I have shared one link on our WhatsApp group, so you can get those books actually. So link पे अगर आप जाएंगे तो you will get that Prabhupada book. You can download that book. It is very simple. If you go on that link, you will find the PDF book for On the Way to Krishna from Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Arshita Mataji, how are you? So people are asking me on the WhatsApp that we have started or not. So let me reply to them. Sorry about the lightings, because maybe I am using the laptop camera, so maybe it's not very good as the phone camera. So please bear with me. So I'm just writing the name of the book here on the comment box on your link. If you can download the book, then we can start reading. Okay, so I think without wasting much time, because this session is only for half an hour, 30 minutes. So let us start. So as you all know, that the idea of going online to do some reading and sharing my thoughts, because we are all now mostly all organizations have announced to you can stay at home and do your work. So it is better to use the technology to get connected and share our thoughts. So we shall be so this portal is we'll be using it for reading sessions. So this is the first session and I'm trying it for the first time, reading online books and sharing with devotees. So I can see some more people joining in. Hare Krishna, Samira Mataji, Hare Krishna, Dilip Prabhu. So since this is mix of all mix of devotees at various levels at my classes, separate different classes, so we will be reading something common from here so that it is applicable to all, and not any because we are at different levels in Bhagavad Gita. Some are at chapter 1, some are at beginning, and some are at chapter 3. So we will try to read Prabhupada's other books here on this reading session. So I'll share the book in the PDF copy also before we begin. So I hope you got that link and you have your On the Way to Krishna book. So just put a thumbs up or put yes in the comment box so that I know that you are having the PDF copy of the book on your phone or on your laptops. So we'll start with the prayers first. By the time you can get your books and put your comments on the comment box. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So I hope all I can see all the thumbs up and yes comments. So I understand we have all the books, this book with you all. So we'll be reading from the book. It's a Prabhupada book. Prabhupada has written around 80 books on. So I thought that we will start reading Prabhupada book and what is the best book to start with. So I was just scrolling through my mind and my library for the books. So I thought let us start on the way to Krishna because we are all on the path to achieve Krishna. So we are reading Bhagavad Gita and we are trying to chant the holy name of the Lord. So we are doing multiple things. We are doing very nice good activities. So that will all bring every one of us more closer to Krishna. So what Prabhupada is writing in this book, On the Way to Krishna. So this is a journey that we have to follow and we have to reach our final destination and get Krishna Prem. So Krishna is the journey also and the goal also. So sadhya and the final objective of the life is also to achieve Krishna, and the way also is through Krishna consciousness process. So let us begin our reading. So if you find any questions or you want to have some comments or you want to have some observations, please write in the chat window here. So I'll be taking the comments or any questions at the later stage. So I'm planning to say have this session for 30 minutes, and I think I've already spent 10 minutes for introduction. We have not yet begin, but from next time onwards, maybe the time we will be doing it a bit early. So I'll be posting the time and everything details on the respective channel or my Facebook page. So we might have it around 8:30 or at 8 p.m. So we'll have it for for 2-3 days in a week, and 2 days anyway we have our classes. So this book session will go for maybe 3 days a week, alternate day. So that I'll be posting it. So today we'll start. Let's try to read from the book. The first chapter is the name of the first chapter is Through Way to Happiness. So our first step, every soul is looking for happiness. Is it not right that we are all looking for happiness? So why we are looking for happiness and what does actually mean? Let us see what Prabhupada has to say. So I'll be reading from the book and you also can read at your respective places and we'll discuss on the chat window. Okay. True way to happiness. Every one of us is searching after happiness, but we do not know what real happiness is. We see so much advertised about happiness, but practically speaking, we see so few very happy people. This is because so few people know what that the platform of real happiness is beyond temporary things. It is the real happiness that is described in Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. So Prabhupada in this first paragraph itself is giving the conclusion that the real happiness is described where in Bhagavad Gita. So Vishnu Prabhu is writing, yes, every soul is looking for happiness. Thank you, Prabhu. I'll read further. Happiness is generally perceived through our senses. A stone, for instance, has no senses and cannot perceive happiness and distress. Developed consciousness can perceive happiness and distress more intensely than underdeveloped consciousness. Trees have consciousness, but it is not developed. Trees may stand for a long time in all kinds of weather, but they have no way of perceiving miseries. If a human being were asked to stand like a tree for only 3 days or even less, he would not be able to tolerate it. The conclusion is that every living being feels happiness or distress according to the degree of development of his consciousness. Now, here Prabhupada is making a very important point. So, we have been discussing about consciousness. So, the symptom of consciousness, what is the consciousness itself is a symptom of what? Of existence of a soul. So, if you have soul, the symptom is, you are conscious. Like many times we are taking the example of fever. So, if you have fever, then what is the symptom of fever? The temperature. So if you are having the temperature, that means you are having a fever. So temperature is the fever, is the symptom of consciousness, is the symptom of fever. Similarly, consciousness is the symptom of soul. So based on your degrees of consciousness level, Prabhupada is saying that we experience happiness or distresses. So here he gives the example of a stone. A stone is not having any consciousness, so he cannot perceive any happiness or distress, right? And trees have consciousness, but it is not so much developed like humans. So even if you cut a tree, they will not scream, compared to animals. If you cut them, they will scream. So it is very easy to understand that based on your degree of consciousness level, you have different experiences of happiness and distress. Vishnu Prabhu is writing something. Trees also have misery, right? Storms, hard sun. Yeah, that's correct. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. Tree also has miseries, but it can stand long time in all kinds of weather. But not like humans. If humans are made to stand like trees, we will not be able to tolerate it. The trees can tolerate more because their consciousness is not so much developed as humans. You know, that's the comparison made here. The happiness that we are experiencing in the material world is not real happiness, right? If one asks a tree, are you feeling happy? The tree, if it could, might say, yes, I am happy standing here all year. I'm enjoying the wind and snowfall very much, etc. This may be enjoyed by a tree, but for a human being, it is very low standard of enjoyment. There are different kinds of grades of living entities, and their conceptions and perceptions of happiness are also all of different types and grades. Although one animal may see the other animal is being slaughtered, he will go right on chewing grass. But for he has no knowledge of to understand that he may be next. He is thinking that he is happy, but at the next moment he may be slaughtered. So this example also doesn't need much explanation. So all sheep or the goats are are standing in the line, and one doesn't know that the next turn is mine, but still he is enjoying chewing the grass, even if the previous one is being cut. So this is the example being here. So if we are that person, that goat or sheep is happily enjoying eating the grass, but he's unaware of the fact that he's going to be the next. Further it says, in this way there are different degrees of happiness. So now we are discussing the degrees of happiness. Yes, of all them, what is the highest happiness? Sri Krishna tells to Arjuna. So there's a shloka. Sukham antyakitam yattad buddhigraham atindriyam vitiyatra na chayyayam stetas chalati tattvataha. The translation goes, in that joyous state, samadhi, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness and enjoys himself through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth. This is coming from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 21. So we'll understand what it verse says. Buddhi means intelligence. So the buddhi word is used in the shloka. That's why now Prabhupada is explaining what the shloka means. Buddhi means intelligence. One has to be intelligent if he wants to enjoy, right? That's no brainer. Animals do not have really developed intelligence, so cannot enjoy life as human being can, right? The hands, the nose, the eyes, or the other sense organs, and all bodily parts may be present on a dead man, but he cannot enjoy, right? Why not? Any answers? Why not he can enjoy? Anyway, we'll read it further. The enjoying energy, the spiritual spark has left, and therefore the body has no power, right? So Prabhupada here is saying even if the dead body is having all the limbs and all the senses, but he cannot enjoy. So what is missing in the dead body? The soul, who is the enjoyer inside the body. If one looks further into the matter with a little intelligence, he can understand that it is not the body that was enjoying at all, but the small spiritual spark that was within. Although one may think that he is enjoying by the bodily sense organs, the real enjoyer is that spiritual spark. So even if we are enjoying with our body, with our senses, like we have famous, uh, very powerful sense called tongue. So if we are enjoying all the taste which we are eating, we think that tongue is enjoying, but actually the enjoyer is that spiritual spark which is inside the body. You know, the senses are not actually enjoying; they are just helping the soul to enjoy the sense objects. That spark always has a potency of enjoyment, but it is not always manifest due to being covered by the material tabernacle. Although we may not be aware of it, it is not possible for the body to experience enjoyment without the presence of spiritual spark. If a man is offered the dead body of a beautiful woman, will he accept it? No, because the spiritual spark has moved out of the body, right? The same body which we were loving before, if it becomes dead body, then we don't accept that because the spiritual spark has left. So the body itself has no meaning without the spiritual spark. So Swani Sadan is writing, just like we cannot enjoy broken nails or hair which is cut. Yeah, correct. Because it's not part of the whole. It is already detached. Not only was it enjoying within the body, but it was maintaining the body. When that spark leaves, the body simply deteriorates, right? So that spark, the tiny spark which is there inside the body, is actually maintaining the body. This heavy, 80, 90 kg or 70 kg or 100 kg body is fully maintained by this little tiny small spark, which is the spiritual spark which is being talked here. It follows that if the spirit is enjoying, it must have its senses also. Otherwise, how can it enjoy? The Vedas confirm that the spirit soul, although atomic in size, is actually enjoying agent. It is not possible to measure the soul, but that is not to say that it is without any measurement. Yeah. So the measurement of the soul, those who have done the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, they can tell the measurement of the soul. I'll not ask this question now. If you know it, very good. So Bhagavad Gita gives the measurement of the soul also. Vishnu Prabhu is writing, Prabhu, does soul expect enjoyment? Okay, we'll take this question maybe later. An object may seem to us to be no bigger than a point and may seem to have no length or width. But when we perceive it under a microscope, we can see that it has both length and width. Similarly, the soul also has its dimension, but we cannot perceive them, right? So what it says, the soul is also having a dimension, which is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, but we cannot perceive it, right? Why we cannot perceive? Let's see. When we buy a suit or dress, it is made to body. It is made to fit the body. The spiritual spark must have form. Now, here's something interesting coming. The spiritual spark must have a form. Otherwise, how is it that material body has grown to accommodate it? So this is a big, bit statement to understand. Now we know that this body is having a form, right? This is my hand, this is my hair, eyes, nose. So we have a form. Now we are not able to see the soul, but what here it is said in the Shastras that the soul also should have a form. Otherwise, how is that the material body has grown to accommodate it, right? For example, the Prabhupada has given a comparison of a suit or a dress. It is made to fit the body. So just imagine, for example, if you are having a shirt or a suit, what Prabhupada has given the example, right? So that shirt or suit or this kurta is fitting my body, right? So the kurta is also having arms, right? Arms which is fitting the body. So if the kurta is not having, D-shaped arm, not fitting the body, so the body cannot fit in. Similarly, the soul should have a form so that the body can fit the soul. Hmm? This is the example which is given. So the shirt, like the our pant, is also has the legs, and body goes inside. So this is how the body is having the form. So the soul is also having the form similar to the body, which it which is enclosing it. Yeah. The conclusion is that the spiritual spark is not impersonal, right? Now, what is an impersonal purpose? It is an actual person. So when you say it is a person, means it is not impersonal. So impersonal means formless. So the soul is not formless; it is having a form. God is an actual person, and that the spiritual spark, being a fragmental part of him, is also a person. So if the soul is a person, the super soul is all should also be a person. Very logical, because the spark is coming from the super soul itself. If the father has personality and individuality, the son also has the same, right? And if the son has them, we can conclude that the father has them. So how can we, as the sons of God, assert our personality and individuality and at the same time deny them to our Father, the Supreme Lord? So what Prabhupada is trying to say here is, if we agree that the soul is having a form, then how can we say that super soul is not having a form? It's very obvious that super soul is also having a form. He is also a person, right? So soul or super soul, the Supreme Lord cannot be just a glare of light. It cannot be just imperson. It has to be a person, right? Uh, we have 9:38, so I think I will stop here and I'll take one or two questions, because we will end at the 9:45. I know half an hour is bit very less as per our discussion goes, but we are on the fourth page, so this is the first class, so maybe we'll be first online discussion. So we'll be reading it further, and we'll be completing maybe the first topic, and the next maybe tomorrow, or I'll confirm it. So anybody having any questions or any observations or want to share anything are free to do that. So I don't want you to hold up more in the night. So one important point we discussed is the soul is having a form and super soul is also having a form, right? And we are fragmental part of that super soul. Okay. So any more questions here? Is the voice quality okay, or are you able to hear? Yeah, Vishnu Prabhu's, there was one question which I told him we will take it later. Vishnu Prabhu's question was that every soul looks for happiness. Does soul expect enjoyment? Yeah, so Prabhu, does soul expect enjoyment? Yeah. So what Vishnu Prabhu is asking, does the soul is expecting enjoyment? The answer is yes. We are looking for happiness. That's the opening statement of the book, that the soul is looking for happiness, for looking for enjoyment. Because why it is like that? Because the category of the soul, the characteristic of the soul is Sat, Chit, and Anand. The Anand part is full of enjoyment. So the soul is full of enjoyment, full of knowledge, and full of bliss, right? So yeah, Vishnu Prabhu, I'm at your question only. So since the characteristic of the soul is to be happy, to be full of knowledge, and to be full of bliss, so these are the characteristic of the soul, the dharma of the soul, so to speak. So when I say dharma of the soul, for example, if you take what is the dharma of liquid, what is the dharma of water? Sorry, the the dharma or the characteristic or the basic nature of water is to be liquid. Similarly, what is the basic nature or basic characteristic of sugar? To be sweet. Sugar is to be sweet. Yeah. Flow. Somebody is typing the flow. So that is for the liquid, for the water. So similarly, what is the characteristic of salt? You know, it's saltiness. Correct. So saltiness is a characteristic of a salt. A salt, we cannot expect salt to be sweet, right? So these are the basic natures which cannot be changed, right? So similarly, soul's basic nature is to be is such it and Anand. So it is always blissful. It is always full of enjoyment and full of knowledge. So that's why the soul always looks for enjoyment, and that is why we are looking for happiness in this thing, in that thing, in this material thing, and we think this buying this BMW car will give me happiness. Then I got the BMW car and I got it punctured, or it is, deteriorating and it is scratching. So the same BMW will be giving me pain also. So I will look for another car. I will look for another city. I will look for another job, another, another dress, another anything. So we are all looking for happiness. Actually, we means the soul is looking for happiness. So that is why it is all looking for enjoyment and happiness, because that is the basic nature of the soul, to be happy. Our soul's basic nature is to be happy. That's why we look for happiness here and there. So we have to look for a place where we get the real happiness. I will give you one nice example, and then we can close this video. For example, if you have you know if you have lost a needle, sui, sui. So if you have lost the needle at one particular corner of the house, there is no light there. Okay, it's dark, and you are asked to search your needle. So, and at the other corner there is a light, and if you are searching that particular needle in the area of light, but you have lost the needle in the place of darkness, are you going to find it? The answer is obvious. It is no. You have to find where the real happiness lies, where the real needle is. You have to find at that location, not the where light is, but where the needle is fallen. You are not finding it there. So we have to look for the places where we will get the real happiness. The real happiness of the soul is to get connected with the super soul. We will read in the book further. So, to how to get connected with the real super soul, how to get connected with Krishna. Once being connected with Krishna, that will give the soul real happiness. Dilip Prabhu is saying, my question answer, please. Where is your question, Dilip Prabhu? Is soul size or characteristics will change by the age? Yeah, that's a very important question. Soul size or characteristics will change by the age? The answer is no. Soul size doesn't change. Soul size in the Bhagavad Gita is given as 1/10,000th part of the tip of the hair. Those who have done second chapter, you can find the answer in that second chapter also. The size doesn't change. The characteristic, as I said, it is always Sat, Chit, and Anand. It is always eternal, blissful, full of knowledge. So these characteristics of the soul will never change by the age. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that soul is eternal. Right? In second chapter, we will read that of Bhagavad Gita. We are reading that the soul is eternal. Ajo nityam shashvatoyam purano. So it says ajo nityam. So it is eternal. It doesn't age. So there is no. I think we are done with the questions, and we are done with the time also. Hope you like this session, and I'll be posting it when we'll be having another session. So we'll be continuing reading this book, and thank you for joining. Hare Krishna.